Hi, I'm Helen with Arizona Raft Adventures. I'm here to talk about your hike in. You will meet your hiking guide who will introduce themselves and give you their contact information for while you're staying at the South Rim. Your hiking guide will also provide the current weather conditions and talk about the safety and how to be safe hiking down into the canyon. Your hiking guide is going to talk about eating and drinking and how important that is. You think you're just walking downhill on the Bright Angel Trail, but you don't realize how many calories you are burning. The most important thing you can do is eat and eat and eat again. So please, the night before you start your hike, have a good dinner. Also, you need to have your breakfast and your trail lunch. You will have lunch on the river when you meet your guides, but you want to think about having a trail lunch and snacks during the hike in. It's very important to also drink while you're on the trail and while you're hiking. Your hiking guide will talk about the water stops, where water is available, and how much water to take for each section of the hike. This is very important to pay attention to, as you don't want to have conditions as dehydration or hyponatremia. Dehydration is when you don't drink enough water, and hyponatremia is when you drink too much. Both can be serious conditions that could impact your hike and your time on the river. Your hiking guide is also going to give you a luggage tag. You're going to attach a green tag onto your personal luggage, and in the morning when you meet your hiking guide, they're going to store this in the bellman's closet at the Maswick Hotel. After they complete the hike the next day, they will drive it down to Flagstaff and it'll be stored securely with the other luggage from the group that you're joining that morning. Your hiking guide will inform you as to what time you're going to meet them in the morning at the Maswick lobby. Typically, hiking guides like to leave at first light. The Bright Angel Trail is very, very beautiful. It's 7.5 miles down to the Colorado River. There are potable water stations that are operating April through end of October, but there are times due to what we call pipeline breaks or failures that there is no water. And so you'll get that information from the hiking guide the night before your hike. The Bright Angel Trail is steep at the very top. Actually, 2/3 of the elevation of the hike are from the top till you get to just above Indian Garden. You'll be dropping a total of 4,300 feet, but remember 2/3 in that top section. You will be stiff and sore by the time you get down to the river, but your guides will be there to take care of you and help you pack your bags, cool you off, feed you, and prepare you to go downriver. So, some of the most important things you need to know are about your bags. So I have the first bag here is your white bag, your day bag. Some people call it their carry-on bag. This is the bag you're going to have on the boat with you. Do you see how large this is? This bag will have everything you need on the river during the day. Just like when you're on a flight, you have a carry-on bag. This carry-on bag has everything you need to get to your final destination. And just note here on the outside, we have these 4-inch rated locking carabiners. Now in your paperwork, we say that mandatory you need to have one of these. I personally prefer to have 2 because I use one to lock the bag on the boat and the other one for 2 of my water bottles. I don't like to futz with the water bottles and the locking mechanism. We'll go over what to put in your white bag in the video How to Pack for Your River Trip. The other bag you have is your blue bag or your check bag. Just like I have a carry-on bag, that one's on the boat with me. This blue bag, I will pack up and give it to the river guides, and we won't have access to this until we get to our final destination. Then the sleep kit, and in here we have a liner, a tarp, and a sleeping bag. Also on the boats are your tents, and here's a sample of what those tents look like. I think of these as the Taj Mahal of camping. Also, you will have your mug. This is, for you, it's a keepsake mug, but it's also very functional because every morning you're going to be woken to the smell of coffee being made. And your guides will let you know that coffee is available. You also have hot water for tea and also orange juice. So you want to take this mug with you, and usually we keep this mug in our blue bags. We don't use it during the day. We also provide groovettes, or some people call them pea cups, because about 25,000 people a year go down the Colorado River, and those beaches and camps are pristine because, believe it or not, all of your urine goes in the Colorado River. And when you're at camp, you might be camped far away from everybody else and far away from the river, and you might need to get up in the middle of the night from all the water you're drinking. So we provide this bottle, this pea cup. You can use this at night, and then it's quite funny in the morning. Everybody's walking down with their full pea cups and their empty coffee cups, and they dump this in the river and then fill up their coffee and prepare for camp and breakfast. We also give you a guidebook. I really like the guidebook. It's got flora and fauna and history and geology, and it also has a mile-by-mile guide of your trip. A lot of us like to use it as a trip journal. We like to write things of note, and also because we like to know what's going on ahead of us. Some of you might have hiking poles. Hiking poles aren't used on all of the hikes, but if you're more comfortable with them, you should bring them with you. You do not need to put these in any of your bags. And then electronics. Really think about if you want to bring your expensive electronics down to a place that's sand and sun and water. And remember, there's no charging station, there's no Wi-Fi, and there's no cell service. We also want to talk about skincare. You're out here in the sun and the wind and the sand. It's really important to take care of your skin, cover up, put sunblock on every 2 to 3 hours on any exposed skin. And then one thing that we also recommend is putting lotion or salve on your hands and feet, especially at night. You clean your hands and your feet, and then you put some lotion and salve on. You don't want to get those little cracks that you can get on your fingers and toes and heels. It makes for a rough few days on the river. And you can prevent that by just taking care of your hands and feet with salve or some lotion. And if you get injured, please talk to your guides. Even if it seems a little minor, like a minor thing, they're highly trained and they can help keep you comfortable and safe. We have first aid in camp. And we have first aid on the boats. So we have those things that are available to you at any time that you need. We've also asked you, if you are taking prescription medications, that you bring 2 sets, and that we encourage you to give 1 set to the guide in case you lose it. That way you have it for you for the duration of the trip. If your prescription medication needs to be refrigerated, give it to the guides and they can keep it cool. Your trip will end at a place called Diamond Creek. You will help unload the rafts, which you'll be very good at by that time, and you'll be met by a bus driver from Arizona Raft Adventures. You'll have an adventurous ride up to Peach Springs, and somewhere along the way you'll have lunch, and you'll stop at a place along Route 66 for some ice cream or French fries or something that you've been missing on the trip. So you'll want to have a little cash or credit card with you. You will go to Little America Hotel in Flagstaff. You will be met by a staff member from Arizona Raft Adventures. And there, your luggage with this green tag will be waiting for you. If you are staying at the hotel, your room keys will be there. And there'll also be a store where you can buy some cool Arizona Raft Adventure swag. You and your fellow passengers will decide where you're going to have a trip dinner, and you'll tell the guide so they can join you. That is an appropriate time and place to give the gratuities to the trip leader. If there's any gear that you never want to see again, the guides will gladly take it for a nonprofit we work with in Flagstaff that takes kids on the river. And they'll do that at the takeout at Diamond Creek. Thank you so much for choosing Arizona Raft Adventures. We hope you have an adventure of a lifetime.